Hey guys, welcome back to Resolution 2018. As you can see, I was playing Reus, which I'm pronouncing like Zeus with an R because I don't really know how else to pronounce it. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys kind of an update because I know it's been a really long time, and last time I said I was having some technical difficulties. Still having some of those technical difficulties, but I did manage to get quite a bit of my gameplay. I am not finished with Reus at all. Got a long way to go yet, but a lot has happened since the last time I recorded, so I figured I'd sit down and look back over the last month of Resolution 2018 and where it's going. We've already completed 5 games, and of course I'm not counting Reus. I'm counting Cherry Tree High Comedy Club. I'm counting Anna, the extended edition, Shelter, which I didn't record because it was short and I cried like a lot, and let's see what was after that. Fading Hearts, and Dust, an Elysian Tale. And I've been playing a lot of this game. This game is going to be one of those games that I have to get all of the achievements, and there's 75 achievements. So every round of this game is 30 minutes to an hour plus long. And as you can see, I'm not overly skilled at it. I have only just begun. It is entirely a strategy game. But it is a lot of fun. It's a great way to unwind. So, it has been fun to play. I am glad I started playing it after 3 years of owning the game and never playing it. But yeah, it's a strategy game. It's really laid back, except for when people start fighting, and then it gets a little bit more, nerve-wracking because the music gets pumped. But overall, people are pretty easy to please, and the environments are pretty easy to manipulate. Pretty relaxing game. Just a really relaxing thing to do. You are the planet in the game, like the player is the planet, which is why when you zoom out, the planet's in the center. You're not any of the giants, you're not some kind of a god. You literally are the planet. At least from what I gather. So, it's got some pretty interesting lore to it. Not so much a story, but, it's never stopped me from making up my own story before. If you do decide to pick it up, you will, be pretty pleased with it, I think. Just don't expect it to be too story heavy or too intense. It's really not intense. It's really just kind of flowy. And now that I've spent 3 minutes talking just about the game, let's move on to other things. During Resolution 2018, I've learned some things about myself that I didn't really expect to be learning trying to do this. So, wanted to discuss that really quick. While I'm going through all of these games that I bought basically on a whim, I've been finding out that I am not the kind of gamer that I thought I was. And what I mean by that is some of these games that I expected that I would just absolutely love to death, when you're playing them like to completion, like with the goal to complete them in mind, they're really tedious. And I mean, I know they're not like that for everyone, but like that's what I mean. I'm learning some things about myself and what I prefer. Like, I used to consider myself just a basic casual gamer that likes like building and creating and storylines and character development and like all the artsy stuff, all the literature and artsy stuff in games. And as you've seen from some of the games that I've played, I suck at platforming, which is funny because Kirby is my first love of games in general. Like, I grew up playing the Kirby on NES, Kirby's Dream Land, and I got the Game Boy game from back when Kirby didn't have his copy ability yet, and loved it to death because it's basically the same game, just minus a few things. And I used to think that I'm okay with platformers. Like, I'm not the best, but I'm better with them than FPS. Well, still not overly fond of FPS, but I'm not really good at platforming either. So maybe it's just because Kirby is a kid's game, but I still really love Kirby. I'm just not really good at platformers. So yeah, discovered that about myself. Which, I mean, I'm not overly surprised. I don't really try hard to win games, like I said in the very beginning of this. So a lot of this stuff that I'm learning about myself as a gamer and as a person, kind of, is as we're going through and doing all of this stuff, I am realizing that, you know, a lot of my preconceptions about myself, my thoughts and all these things that I've put around myself, saying, oh, this is what makes me me. Yeah, they're not. They're not nearly as solid as I thought they were. But I mean, I think that's one of the beautiful things about doing something like this, is that you do learn things about yourself. You do find out things that you didn't expect. I didn't expect that Shelter would affect me so badly and that it would be such a beautiful game. And I didn't expect that, as much as I liked the artwork from Dust, that it would be so painful for me to try to play. Like, I really got frustrated at the game now and again because of all of if I had been played on any mode but casual, it would have been impossible for me to play, because it had fighter elements in it that I can't do that. I don't do the memorizing 13 different attack modes and all the different buttons you press and all the patterns. I'll admit, I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not the kind of gamer I am. And I kind of just, I saw those things come up on the screen and I was like, oh crap, am I going to have to remember that? Do I need to write that down? Thankfully for the casual mode, didn't have to. Thank God. Because if I had had to do that, I would have thrown the keyboard at the wall. But, let's see. Cherry Tree High was kind of tedious. I think I mentioned that before. As much as I love character development, a lot of those characters were kind of flat. And I don't think that game ever won any awards. That might be why. But I mean, if you're new to the genre for graphic novels and dating sims, it is a good place to start. It does have all the basics. It does have a few cliches. It has enough basics in it that you kind of get a grasp of what it is you're doing in most of them, considering we have so many now that are trying to do novel ideas, which is great. You know, it's always good to try to add something new to the equation. You might find something that really works, but Cherry Tree is no Doki Doki. It is no Doki Doki. The characters and everything is really flat. There's not a whole lot to wrap your head around. Shelter really, really picks at your instincts. Like, when you're playing, I got to the end of it and was just boo-hooing because, I had been running around in a circle for, 30 minutes trying to figure out, where does this game want me to go? I don't understand. Does it really want me to run across that big open expanse? But that's stupid. My children are all going to die. What do I do? Well, finally, it got to the point where, I had no other option. There was nothing else for me to do. I literally had to run across this stupid field. And I finally did, and that's when I got my ending, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks. I mean, it makes sense, but it still sucks. And, after the credits, the last thing you see of your Mama Badger character, spoiler alert, so shut your ears, she's getting fed by the Mama Falcon to her 5 little babies. And I'm just sitting there bawling my eyes out, and I'm going, you can't hate a mama for being a mama. We've been being a mama this whole time. You can't hate her for that. So, it's a real bittersweet ending, because it's I don't want my badger to die, but at the same time, I can't hate the Falcon for eating her, because she's just being a mama. So what do? I don't know. It's so many complex feelings. But, That one, yeah, I ugly cried, like sniffing and snotting everywhere. It was bad. But Dust had a nice character layout. It had some good story to it. Little disappointed that there were pieces that didn't come together in the end. Like, there was, maybe if I had completed all the side quests it would have told me, but like the character Cassius, I get that he's kind of supposed to be the Sephiroth of the game, but like, considering that his relationship with his general is so important, I kind of wanted to see like how they met, what brought them to this point. It doesn't ever really go into that. But I mean, that's just me as a story lover. I love like knowing all the bits and pieces, and it tells Jin's story pretty thoroughly. Like, you understand why he's there, but you never really understand why Cassius is there. So, little disappointed that I didn't get to find out about the Sephiroth of the story, but maybe someday they'll make another one, if we're incredibly lucky. I don't think we're going to be, but maybe someday. I do not believe I'm going to be able to finish Reus, mostly because I've got maybe 20 of the 75 achievements in the last week. Or 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Holy crap, it's been 2 weeks. And another reason that I haven't been pushing for doing vlogs and videos is because this week was my birthday. February 7th. I share a birthday with Jacksepticeye. Makes me a little proud. Also share it with Reus from Final Fantasy VII. Not quite as proud, but still pretty proud. But I was originally supposed to be born on Valentine's Day, and I came a little early. So, yeah, I'm an amethyst. Aquarius amethyst. Things to be proud of. But I spent my birthday holed up in a hotel room because it was too icy to come home. So the last few weeks has been on and off that because I commute like really far to go to work. So whenever it's not dangerous for me to come home, I don't. I just do not come home, which is the best way to do things. So there's been times when I can't come home and immediately do this, but that's okay because even though my goal was to do a game a week, I have been blowing through this like crazy, and I haven't bought any more games. I kind of guessed that I wouldn't always be able to do one game a week. And here we go. I'm not being able to do exactly one game a week. But I had to start doing some of the bigger games. And Reus is one of those that I've had for years and never accomplished anything with. And it was really nice to finally open it up and actually play it. Considering that on my Steam account, I have so many tried and true favorites that I love to play all the time. And it was good to finally get into it and open it up and actually do something with it. I am glad I did that. Okay, so the next item of business on this vloggy little thing is that, excuse me, I am planning a trip to Japan. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, and I'm using this Resolution 2018 to kind of help me save money for it. From this point, I have 3 to 4 months. Let's see, about 3 months to my trip, and we're going through a travel agency, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive than usual, but we're going to get more stuff for our money. So, you know, life's a trade-off. You pick what you can. And since this is really once in a lifetime for me, like, I've been dreaming of going since I was very small. And I'm finally going to get to go and see it for myself. And I didn't have a travel buddy, so my mother's going with me. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's lame. You should just go by yourself. But, you know, she's helping me by going with me. You know, I'm not going to be alone. I'll be with somebody who knows me. So, you know, it's a good thing. It'll be good for us to go together. And let's see, what else? I'm gonna start posting the vids for resolution on my personal channel rather than on the Nest channel. Mostly because I kind of feel bad being the only one posting on the Nest. Especially because we have so many other things that we just haven't been able to get together and do, like the Doki Doki playthrough and the Minecraft playthroughs. We have so many things that we've just needed to do and we haven't been able to, and it makes me just a little bit sad, but we just haven't had time, and the roads haven't been safe, and weather and family and everything, and jobs. Good Lord, jobs. But Travis, Damien, and I are still, we're still out here. We just haven't had time to get together and do this. We all have full-time jobs. We all have full-time families. So, since I feel bad being the only one doing a series on the Nest, I'm going to start moving this over to my channel, which is the Pink Peachick, and I'm going to leave a link to that in the description of this video. And I'm going to start moving the playlist over to Pink Peachick as well. I'll probably leave the playlist over here as well on the Nest, but I'm going to make another one as well on Pink Peachick so that it'll be easy to find. And I'll also use the tag the Nest, so when you're looking for one, hopefully you'll be able to find the other. And I think that's about all I have to say. Yeah, I think that's about it. At least for now. I don't have any other big updates. Let me think.